Greetings, you Chaos Legionnaires and Krondspine Incarnate. It's Josh and CJ back again with your new releases for the week of 8/27/2022.
Yes, we have WarCry.
And WarCry.
Well, we also have some other stuff.
There's a little bit extra.
Do you want to start with the WarCry first?
I mean, it's going to be the bulk of this, so yeah.
You want to start with the thing I'm not sure anyone should buy?
Yeah.
Which normally we don't go with, but this is the new compendium. Yeah, the problem with this is that, as you probably already know, the full compendium was released for free in PDF form online. Yeah. And we checked, there isn't anything in here that isn't in those PDFs. Now, there's been a lot of rumors about what happened with that, and we don't have any official confirmation on why this happened.
So don't ask.
What we do know is that you buy this if you want a physical copy of the new compendium rules. So when Kill Team Compendium came out, we ragged on it.
Oh boy, did we. Yeah.
This is not a case of that again.
Yeah, no,
this is a great book. The WarCry warbands in here are fun. They have interesting rules. They're not bare bones like the Kill Team ones were.
Yeah.
This does not feel like a cash grab. This feels like, hey, here's how you play with your new or with your old models in the new edition.
Yeah.
So,
and if you don't happen to have an internet connection or
or if you're watching from the future where Games Workshop has removed that link because they now are selling this book, it's worth it.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to talk about the new WarCry here in the coming weeks, but spoilers, we're fans.
Yeah. Yeah, unlike certain other games which we don't particularly care for, man, this is the good stuff.
I'm going to actually take these down.
Yeah, so we can actually see what we're about to
So we actually can see what we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
What do we want to do next? We want to do some of our Legionnaires?
Yeah. Let's get the Legionnaires out of the way here. So, hey, speaking of Legionnaires, how about these Legionnaires here? I mean, hard, bad intro, but like the Chaos Legionnaires here are a little bit on the generic side.
See, I disagree.
Well, I mean, they feel like they're Chaos Legionnaires.
They're very
Warhammer,
clearly
right?
Inspired by medieval outfits. Like
Yeah.
I think it's called a gambesson. Is that what he's wearing? Where the guy
so.
here, where it's this kind of medieval barding.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They don't feel generic to me. The Chaos editions, the accoutrement, je ne sais quoi, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, the Chaos stuff on it feels like, oh yeah, no, this is a Chaos armed guy.
I also specifically like these guys' lore, where these are Bellacor's friends who
hang
hang around in Chaos and smack talk Archeon behind his back because Bellacor always hates Archeon because he wants to be the true Everchosen.
Yeah, that takes
so
some
these
guts.
are Bellacor's infiltrators, kind of. These
I
are
see.
specifically Bellacor's Legionnaires, which I love that little detail.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it's a nice in between the Chaos warriors who are like super heavy armored and the Warcry guys we've seen at this point who are usually wearing skins. Unless you're the Iron Golems, even then.
Or the Spire Tyrants who are also
those
not
are
wearing a whole ton either.
the Spire. These are Bellacor's Spire Tyrants.
Yeah.
Functionally.
So yeah, if you're like, I don't know about the Spire Tyrants, how about some heavy armor guys? Well, here you are.
It'll earn you $60.
Yeah, which is standard for
standard
any of this
Warcry
stuff.
warband cost. I bought a box. Apparently, I accidentally bought 2 boxes, but I've returned one for now, so I can have more money to buy the pun after my own heart, the Centaurian Marshal. Yeah, not Centurion. It is the Centaur, and he is an angry Centaur.
Yeah.
Interesting that they only are now putting art on the front and not pictures.
Not
you
the
notice that?
Yeah.
The old,
this is a new thing.
we've got the Lady of Vines here, and she's still pictures. But the Warcry is art.
Yeah. I think they're trying to move this into like kind of like the magic thing where like, hey, let's show you something. Let's show you the art assets and get some more use
I guess, but if you're a miniatures company, I don't agree with that decision.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think if you're a miniatures company, I actually
minis.
get irritated with companies when they only show art and don't show the minis. I want to know what I'm actually buying. Now, Games Workshop still put it on the back, so it's not like they're trying to obfuscate anything. And he is a 4-legged, 4-armed centaur. That is a total of 8. Does that make him a spider?
How many eyes does he have?
He's got a helmet on.
Oh.
That helmet has a lot of holes in it.
That could be 8 eyes. That might make him technically a spider.
Secret spider?
Secret spider.
Anyway, I'm hugely excited for him. He is also tied in with the with the Be'lakor team.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked at his rules yet. I hope he's playable with all the WarCry warbands.
He looks like he'd fit great in Reign of Hell.
Yeah.
Reign in Hell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half of WarCry would. But specifically, he kind of brings back memories of the Minotaur, the Myrmidon.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite models ever.
It's a good one.
And I want this guy to fit in with my Horns of Hashut.
Ah, yes, I think that would fit in very nicely.
So leaving WarCry behind, let's get out our two, maybe not as exciting because these are
re-releases.
These are new boxes they're not old models.
Yeah, they are new models. Let's not
credit where it's due.
Yeah. These are new. This is a Skaven Deathmaster from the
Echoes of Doom.
Thank you. It's just all these box names kind of run together after a while.
And they all have Doom in them.
But
Doom, 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 doom.
Hey, shout outs to my 2005 guys, right?
That's most of our target audience, CJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, interestingly, Mr. Deathmaster is only $35.
Yep.
He hasn't made the jump to 42 yet.
Squeak, squeak.
Deathmaster for Skaven, and then, of course, Lady of Binds for Sylvaneth.
Who is, by the way, enormous on the table.
Yes, she's on a 60 mil.
Yeah.
She takes up, she is really Dr. Octagonopus. She takes up a lot of, T-posing for dominant space.
Yeah, she's a big gal.
Very good in Age of Sigmar. Deathmaster.
Can confirm.
Deathmaster less so, honestly. The Deathmaster, if you're just looking for a really good model in AOS, the Deathmaster's probably not there right now.
Right. But if you're looking for a good miniature in AOS,
yeah, he's a great mini. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But unless you're hunting for that Eshin 3 bonus, you're probably not going to bring a Deathmaster. You're probably going to bring Slink and a Deceiver.
Yeah.
Lady of Binds, on the other hand, gets to play wonderfully with the new terrain rules.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
You like Wildwoods? Everything is Wildwoods.
She's got you covered. So, hey, Skaven Deathmaster, what could you also run it as? Like within reason.
In AOS?
Yeah, in AOS.
Not a darn thing.
Okay, so this is a Deathmaster.
He's too Eshin-y.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay, so you couldn't slide one of those under the radar.
I suppose if you took his knife off and gave him a whip, he could be a master molder, because heaven knows I'm not buying a resin or metal one.
Cutting to things that people probably care a little bit more about.
I know I do.
Yeah, this is Cato Ezekiar.
Cato Kalin?
Cato, I don't know.
No. Cato Ezekiel.
Cato Sicarius.
I'm Cato Sicarius. And I'm Drucky Flint.
Yeah.
And this is Jackass. No, so it's Black Library come to life.
Yeah. Which is, I think is a really cool idea, because there are lots of rad characters in the Black Library lineup that I wouldn't mind seeing miniatures of. The only other one that we really had for a long time was Eisenhorn.
We've had a few.
And then we had the two, was it Alaria? Not Alariel.
We had Eisenhorn.
Yeah.
We had the Custody and
the Sister of Silence.
The Harlequin and the Inquisitor.
Right.
We had Severina Rain.
I own Severina.
We've had a few. Mm-hmm. We haven't had that many for AOS, although we have had a few. Gabriel Sherhart, Mr. Gardas Steelsoul, Punchy Groundy.
Yeah.
I'm not counting people like Yndrasta who just get books written about them themselves.
Right, yeah. We should say that this is about models that had books first.
These are both accompanied by the books. We didn't get copies of those.
Because of course not.
Unfortunately. So you've got two of them. We've got one for Soulblight Gravelords.
Yes, this is the Hollow King.
He is, by the way, almost a strictly better Vampire Lord. He's very good. Mm-hmm. You can't put artifacts and enhancements on him because he's unique, but he's very good and he's cheaper. Yeah.
There's the rub.
There's play in him. Mm-hmm. And then we have Drucky Flint, who is usable in Carriage on Overlords, and is also really good.
Yeah.
That axe hurts.
I would imagine so.
And he's got some great utility. And in addition, they're also just amazing models.
Yeah, and they're just, again, especially with these single figures, I don't think GW is putting out anything that's really a not banger, I guess. It's just
but these two in particular feel really well done to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to describe
why. They put in just a little bit. They put a little spit and polish on it.
The rules for these guys, by the way, are included in the box, as you can see.
Yeah.
On the back of the box, which actually I should put this up here anyway, just to get some nice footage. If you can do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to zoom in and see all the pixels. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. So rules included.
Rules included, and man, that's just a great looking mini. Mm-hmm. Oh, we forgot other Sylvaneth. Mm-hmm. You know what else I like when it's readable, like a book? Dice.
Yeah, hey, how about that?
I ragged on the Skaven dice for being green on green.
Oh, yeah.
The Sylvaneth dice, I mean, they're $38 for GW dice. That is what it is at this point.
You're paying for dice.
But at least these are readable and, like, pretty. That's a nice Sylvaneth symbol. And I can instantly see what the darn number is.
Yeah. I've shown you my knight dice, right?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
And then finally, speaking of things that are not new but in new boxes, we have 2 terrain pieces. We're saving the best for last. We have 2 terrain pieces. So the Thondian Strongpoint box came out.
Right.
And it was $220. And it came with a bunch of terrain. Some of the terrain was not new.
I was going to say, it came with some generic kind of scattery terrain.
It came with the domiciles.
Oh, that's right.
Which were from the launch boxes as well. But it did come with some new terrain. One of them is the Cleansing Aqualith. If it looks Lumineth, it is.
Yeah,
like, the lore is they literally, like, this is just Lumineth.
Yeah, that's not an accident.
And then you have a Megadroth remains. Sorry, not a Magmadroth.
Yeah,
which is just
big Megadroth.
I mean, it's skeletons.
Yeah, it's a crate dragon.
Yeah. Oh,
shout out to Dune C.
KOTOR fans know.
Oh yeah.
I got the Thondian Strongpoint box.
Yeah.
But I will say that these are not ludicrously expensive.
Yeah.
They're $60.
So 60, 60, and 60.
It's still not a good a deal as buying the entire Thondian Strongpoint box, but if you only wanted these pieces of terrain, or a piece, it's better than shelling out $220 for that box.
Right. Yeah, and that's just, I mean, that's some mental math you'll have to do. But if you just need a big skeleton, here's your fix. And speaking of big skeletons,
Krondspine Incarnate.
Hey, it's on its own now.
Cynically, one could be cynical and say, I should say, that GW only put the Krondspine Incarnate in the Thondian Strongpoint box so they could sell a $220 box with a model everyone wanted. I mean, is that being cynical, or is that just how GW works?
Why not both?
Yes.
Por qué no los dos?
But surprisingly quickly, he's out on his own now.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, not ironically, or not me being sarcastically surprisingly, he's only $60.
Yeah. Hey.
Which for a near 500 point model, that's actually really cheap.
Yeah. Do you know how much it costs for a cabbage? Sorry, the Mega Boss on
Maw Crusher?
Maw Crusher.
Yeah, he's $120, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
he's about the same amount of points too.
To be fair, I do have the Krondspine. It's not as much plastic as a cabbage.
That's very true.
He is not nearly as that much, and I think it is. This is, for lack of a better term, terrain plastic over UK plastic. If that makes any sense. It is made overseas, which that's not some weird thing about stuff made overseas is better, but GW's terrain plastic is cheaper.
Yeah.
It is not quite as nice, and the price is usually according.
Yeah.
So this is Mr. Incarnate. Mr. Incarnate kind of... Please, Mr. Incarnate was my father. Call me Krondy. The Incarnate was kind of a big deal when it came out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this thing can't be killed in one turn. It's 400 points.
It can be.
It's got 12 wounds, and you have to roll higher than that. You have to kill it in 2 turns, it'll eat everything, and if it dies, it gets run in charge, and you can't stop it. And then it landed, and it is not irrelevant.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of, it's the Knight Castellan problem that 40K had for a while, where everybody was just like, oh my gosh, this is a big stompy robot. It's like 500 points. It was 500 points when it first came out, mind you. It was the Knight Castellan with the volcano lance on the one arm and the big plasma cannon on the other. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's got 28 wounds, and it's toughness 8, and it's just like, yeah, I know, figure it out, come on.
And people figured it out.
And then they figured it out. Of course, granted, they had to do some futzing with the rule set to figure it out. But for a while, everybody was bringing it, and then everybody was bringing the counter.
To their credit, the Krondspine, they have not had to really modify the rules.
No.
Or the points, and it is showing up in tournament lists, but it's not dominating tournament lists.
Yeah.
Whether or not this is something you want to bring depends entirely on your list, what army you play, and what you're up against.
Yeah.
So as a common example, I think our friend Kevin was just talking about this on Discord today. The Krondspine Incarnate is not particularly good against anything that can snipe its controlling wizards, because then it becomes a liability. But the flip side, against one of the biggest things in the meta right now, which is Stormcast Dragons, Dragon Riders, this thing loves Dragon Riders because it just eats them, and every time it does, it gets a level. Yeah, Dragon Riders are Pac-Man Ghost to this thing.
Yes.
So it's not a meta pick, but it can be a counter meta pick. I want to take a second one of these, and I want to make that into a Skaven Spine Incarnate, a Warp Spine Incarnate.
Ooh.
Yeah, paint it green, put some Skaven-y stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. I looked at that when it first came out. I was like, ooh, that's a cool big model. But I thought about it and was like, I don't really have anything I'd want to.
Because I have the Thundian Strong Point, I already have one. I don't think I'll buy another. But for $60, like I was expecting $100.
I was expecting 100 too, and it's just like, oh well.
Well,
since you insist.
Yeah. And that's it for this week. Mm-hmm. All of this is currently up for pre-order at Games Workshop or from your friendly local game store. Mm-hmm. It comes out this Saturday, the 27th? Yes, 27th.
Yes, 27th.
Drops then. There's also the Black Library books. Again, unfortunately, we did not get copies of those. I would love to do
not a bookstore.
I would love to do a bookstore or a book review of those someday, but I'd have to get them first and then read them.
Yeah.
And then write about them. Never mind, I don't want to do one.
Look for the blog post coming soon.
We'll get Brian to write it.
Oh, hey, there you go.
But that's it for us this week. If you're ordering any of this, let us know. These didn't fly off our shelves, so I'm curious to know if that's just a local problem or if this is a kind of everyone's over these.
Yeah.
Because I still like it, but I think maybe people are over these. Let us know down below. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Take care.